Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome back. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but this is going to be a video where I am running a team that I designed for new players to be able to use in PvP or Dojo rematches. Today I'm going to be doing the PvP section, but I do plan to put out a video in the next week or so that will be for the Dojo rematches and Arc Tamers. So you can see the code in the top right. If you guys want to use the team, all you have to do is go to the competitive tab, click the S up here, and then these teams will likely be empty. If you hover over one and select this button down here, it'll ask if you want to import a squad. Then you just have to type in the code right up there, and voila! It would show up for you. Mine, of course, is already here. Now, I'll review the team real quick. So, Volfi and Volarend are two of the best defense, most consistent Tems in the entire game. They have very good defensive types. And they're also, great offensive capabilities as well. Volfi has Plague, which is a high priority move for fast, strong nature damage, and also exhaust the opponent. And then you have two earth moves, so you can always have one up after turn 1, and Bush just provides you a little bit of protection if you would need to. You have enough speed to outspeed an Oshiara, enough stamina to use 3 plagues in a row, and then just a moderate amount of bulk, and then the rest in damage. Team Elusive is always the better trait here. Volarend is a very fast kind of glass cannon-y spread. It's meant to do as much damage as possible. The idea is to bring it in a board where it has type advantage, to use Wind Burst and gain the speed boost from Aerobic, and then let off big damage with Hyperkinetic Strike. You can also use V-Gust and Toxic Plume for poison damage on the opponent. Hazrat is just another Tem with a really great typing. He's got Wastewater for a poison tick, Lava Wave for priority with synergy, Heat Up so you can scale offensively whenever you get the chance, and then Embers is just to have a cheap option to finish something off, or to give you a little bit of survivability by burning the opponent. Toxic Farewell here is just the trait I like to run, because even if Hazrat dies, it still is able to get value by poisoning and dealing 7%. 273 allows it to outspeed max speed Nestlas and Chromions, which is nice. HP allows it to live pretty much any one wind move, and then the attack is just whatever's left over. Oshiara is kind of the Tem you can lead into most situations. It gets Hurry Wart, which will drop its hold by 1 whenever it enters the field. And then Tsunami is the main thing you're probably going to click. High Pressure Water is your high priority when it's next to a fire type. Cerbatio's Wrath is the scaling and high damage option. And then Blizzard's just in case you're running into some Toxics, because Oshiara can't hit those very well. I have enough speed to outspeed Hedgen and Side Pat, which can be relevant. Enough HP to live most one-hits. Stamina for 61, and the rest in special attack. Volgon is max special attack, enough HP to survive a Crystal Spikes from most Tems, and then the rest kind of in speed and stamina. I like this moveset. You could also potentially run DC Beam over Ampere Outburst, just if you really want the priority. It just doesn't do much damage. Auhi is really nice just to finish things off, because it has Ignis Fatus as its trait, and a priority move with Fiery Soul, and after holds Phantom Whiplash. I like to run a lot of speed on this. You can get ahead of some of your Tems for Psywave, because if you Psywave into any move that Volgon runs, it's going to do a lot of damage. And it's also your turn 2 mental option, and then Phantom Whiplash is just your nuke. HP helps you live pretty much anything, any one hit at least, and then special attack is just whatever's left over. Lawali here is a pretty easy to use Tem. It's more of a nature nuker than a wind damage Tem, but it is able to hit Toxics with Hurricane. You do as much damage as you can with Special Attack, Botanist to kind of just increase the damage you're dealing even more. Plague is your priority, Allergic Spread is spread damage, and Resin Trap is your nuke. Speed is 232, which lets you outspeed anything with high prio. You can outbeat their 2 prio. And HP is whatever's left. And the move flank is just a Tem that constantly dishes out damage. Beat down your opponents. Has her reward just like Oshiara, so you're able to get off your bigger damage moves like Bestial Charge, Goring, and Held Anger a lot faster. I do go over the Tems individually in my guide video, and so if you're curious about that, feel free to check that out. I also do a slightly deeper dive on the teams in episode 5. And now we just kind of wait for a match. Hey CG, good to see you. Need Supervive stats, not Temtem? Well, you came to the wrong place then. I am not a Supervive master. I enjoy the game here and there, but... Alright, nice. I was about to have to buy a radar. Alright, so I'm actually going to be using my pro team here. It is the same queue if you're using Showdown or pro teams. I decided to remake the team in pro just because I'll have to use it for Dojo rematches, and you have to use pro teams for that. So let's see here. The team doesn't fare super well against electric types. Also, Broccolum is very strong right now, so I'm kind of leaning towards banning that. I don't have any mentals or digitals on the team, and he banned one of my fires. Or, well, I did have a mental, but it's gone now. So that makes me think that Broccolum is going to want to be his carry. So I think I'm going to knock out the Broccolum. Gazuma picked turn 1. So that kind of scares off some things like Oshiara and Volerend. And it makes me think that he wants to pick Zenarith in his second slot, because Volgon is really good at dealing with Gazuma. I also don't know what trait the Volerend is. Gazuma doesn't have a turn 1 wind move, so Hazrat's pretty safe here as well. But if he picks Volerend, then I'll be in a worse position. I think I'm going to pick Hazrat, and if he does pick Volerend, that's okay. Yeah. So I will swap out the Hazrat. If possible, I'll bring in the Volgon. We'll see what he bans first. I do have my Earth type, so I could leave Scaravolt available, but I think I'm going to ban the Zenarith. Just because... I guess I'll leave the Zenarith because I have these 2 Tems that counter it. I'm going to ban the Momo instead, because Momo's very bulky and is able to probably one-shot most of my Tems with a knockback. He actually bans Volerend here, which is good for me, because the only thing Volerend's good against is the Nidrasil. So I can pick Volgon here, and that'll be my swap-in for Hazrat, and it'll be really good against both of these Tems. And then I'm going to pick Mooflank. Mooflank would have been another Tem I could have picked right off the bat, just to deal with Gazuma. Gazuma's got kind of low defense, and he didn't have any mentals on his team, which is the only thing that Mooflank isn't able to hit real well. And because he picked Scaravolt in the last slot, I'm going to pick Oshiara, because Lawali can't do anything to Scaravolt. Oh shoot, I forgot animations. I was turning those off to level grind earlier. Let's turn those back on. It's more fun to see him. Okay, so it's a Nutbar Volerend and a Refreshing Diabolo Gazuma. I get some Marbles Chip. My guess is that he'll probably double into the Hazrat slot. Because my Volphy has handcuffs, I'm going to Plague on the Volerend. Even though it's resisted, I want to get the Trap. status on it so that I can't swap next turn. So when I bring in Volgon, I'll be able to do a lot of damage to it. He actually swaps the Gazuma here into Nidrasil. I don't mind this, because Nidrasil can't immediately hurt Volgon or Volphy too badly. It looks like he's an anaerobic Volarend, so that did more damage than I was hoping to, and he's raising his special defense. So I'll have to get damage off on it very quick. Now Volphy's not doing a whole lot because both of these Tems resist both of its stabs. So what I really want to do is get Hazrat on the board. And I think he's going to double in on the Volgon slot, so it should be pretty safe to bring it in here. Chances are Volgon will die here, but I'll at least be able to get... Okay. That is a move that has sees almost no play whatsoever. And Nidrasil has so many other good moves, like so many good moves. It's honestly kind of insane that we just saw that right now, but it worked out for him. He's got more special defense. He did leave my Volgon alive because of that, though. So now I can punish him a little bit. I could get greedy here and go for a heat up, thinking that he's not going to stay in another turn because he is in kill range. Or I could just kill him, because he does have Scaravolt here as a really good swap. I feel like he'll swap because he probably doesn't have enough stamina to get off another hit, so it would be a good turn to use heat up. I'm going to use Ampere Outburst just because it'll get some chip damage on Nidrasil, and it'll also... Yeah, there's the Scaravolt swap. And if he stayed in, it does just about as much damage as... Thunderstrike. So that didn't do a whole lot of damage to the Scaravolt, but that's fine. We saw a Bark Shield. Hey, Crystal, good to see you. A good stream, stopping by before you go live yourself. Sounds good, CG. Have a good stream. Been up to in Temtem? Grind something out? Yeah, I've been working on a lot of guides lately. I have Sharp Rain available, which I could use on the Scaravolt here. And with Scaravolt gone, that puts a lot of pressure on his other Tems. His Nidrasil can't do anything to Hazrat, so I think I'm going to go for it here. There's also a chance that he tries to like use Tri-Hypothecary Spores on his Scaravolt to heal it up. So if I can kill it before then, that would be really good. Yeah, what have you been up to, Crystal? Still working on stuff? Yeah, there was the spores, so getting able to avoid that is really good. It also makes his Hypoxia almost useless. So now, with Scaravolt gone, Volphy is less useful. Volgon could still be used. It does have... But I mean, this is probably one of its best boards left, since it can't do a whole lot to Volarend. So I think right now the plan is just to kill Gazuma before it can get its wind move off of hold. So I'm going to go for an Ampere Outburst, even though it's not going to do a whole lot to Nidrasil. He could be running Wind... Oh my goodness, this is like a 500 HP, 300 defense Gazuma. This player is not running conventional spreads. So normally the Gazuma would be dead this turn, because I'm a +3 Lava Wave. He does get a Tesla Prison for some chip damage on Hazrat, And he does start healing his Gazuma up. He might swap out the Gazuma now. I'm not sure. I'm sure he's going to use Hurricane this turn. So I want to leave my Hazoret alive. It'll be really good for Zenarith and Nidrasil later on. But right now I need to... swap out. I want to keep Oshiara alive, so it's probably going to be Volphy and Mooflank. So I think I'm going to bring Volphy in for the Hazoret slot, and then Mooflank in for the Volgon slot. Mooflank gets Hurry Wart, so get some holds off. It could be another Bark Shield from this Nidrasil. The only moves it's revealed so far are Spores, Bark Shield, and Untangle, which means it only has one more. And since it has Energy Drink, I'm kind of thinking it's going to have... Volurend is not what I wanted to see. I'm thinking that it's going to have Narcoleptic Hit as its last move. So Mooflank might take some big damage here. But either way, we're just going to start dishing some out. I'm clicking Bestial Charge here to get some chip damage on Nidrasil. Because eventually I'm going to have to take the thing down. And right now it's just healing and Bark Shielding his entire team. So he's not actually getting through my team real well. And Nidrasil doesn't have any way to heal itself. But it's still a huge annoyance. And I used Plague there to push off the healing from these Spores. It wasn't to do damage, but just to get some chip. Because they already resist it, and it's also like +5 special defense. He's probably going to use Untangle on the Volurend again to raise its defense. I just need to start chipping these guys down some more. I'm going to use Sandstorm for some more chip on Volurend and to deal some damage to Nidrasil. There's the Untangle. At least he's not healing again. Helldanger should do a good chunk of damage here, even through the +2 defense. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good damage. Mooflank lives that. Now I can use Bestial Charge again. It'll finish off the Volurend and deal some more chip to Nidrasil, which is exactly what I want to do. And I'm actually going to rest on Volphy so I can use something again next turn, because he'll either have to bring in Gazuma or Zenarith. Both of which I am just fine seeing. The Nidrasil is going to run out of stamina real soon here. So when that happens, I'll be able to... Oh, he actually swapped both out. That's not what I was expecting. Oh well, I'll take the free damage. Still doesn't do very much to Gazuma, but it's fine. Alright, I'm going to use Sandstorm here, kind of expecting the Zenarith to swap. And I'm going to use Goring here on the Gazuma. So between the Sandstorm and Goring, I should hit the Gazuma hard. It should finish it off. And then Zenarith, I'm not sure what he's... Oh, really? I wonder what he clicked. Maybe he's very slow on both Gazuma and Zenarith? Quartz Shield. I wonder if he's trying to make some sort of stall team here. Using some unconventional Tems. That seems to be the case. Well, I'm just going to click Bestial Charge again. Zenarith should be dead this turn. Yep, goes down. He has to kill Mooflank here. Or not. And so this is why I have 81 stamina investment on my move flank, because in a situation where like this, where it just isn't being killed by the opponent, it's able to constantly dish out like high amounts of damage. I am using Held Anger on the Volerend just so that I don't OX this turn, and also to make sure that it dies, because it does have a couple defense boosts. Because that's the only thing that can kill Hazrat from here on. Nidrasil is as good as dead. He does go for another side spores. And that is a flawless victory. All 5 of our Tems survive. GG. So normally, if you're running a Nidrasil, you want to have either Toxic Ink for like some offensive pressure, or Allergic Spread as well, and instead of Untangle, because Untangle is only going to be like very nichely valuable. He happened to get some value from it there, but most of the times you wouldn't. And if he would have clicked Allergic Spread instead of Spores, he could have been dishing out a large amount of toxic damage throughout the game, and that would have made it more of a threat that I had to deal with. Hey, Win, good to see you. Good luck in your solo queue. Alright, here we have another match. Looks a little more of a conventional team. Kapire and Barnshee aren't super common. Based on this team, I'm expecting Auhi to get banned, because it's got a great typing and it walls like 4 of his Tems. So if I don't have Auhi, I think I'm going to ban Volfi, because then I would have a really good lead with Oshiara, unless this is a Sharp Leaf Chimerian. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Either way, I have 2 fire types. He didn't ban the Auhi. Very interesting. He does have a quadruple electric weakness as well, so it does make sense that he would ban the Volgon, but I'm assuming that the Barnshee has Straw Shield. So I think I'm going to go with the Oshiara here, hoping that the Chimerian doesn't have Sharp Leaf. I'm probably going to lead the Hazrat with it, because then I can use a fast Lava Wave to either take out the Chimerian before it moves, and it also is a physical Tem to pair with, so that I can threaten out the Barnshee. Because Barnshee has good special defense, but it does not have good physical defense. But it'll probably be able to survive, and if it's running Hypoxia, it might even be able to kill me. So it is a little risky. It would end up coming down to how valuable... Oh, interesting. I'm actually going to pick Auhi here, because there's nothing that Tataru can really do to my Auhi, because it's a neutral type. It does have Noxious Bomb, but Noxious Bomb doesn't do that much damage, and especially because I'm probably going to burn it, and Barnshee can't do too much damage to Auhi either. If I ban his Oshiara, which may not be the best play considering I have Volfi, which walls Oshiara badly, Volerend, which also walls it, and then Luali too. Okay, so we see the Hazrat ban. So now my only fire type is Auhi. I think it's really a question of which Tem is he going to target. I think I'm going to actually take out his Auhi. Because then that'll free up move flank, because he'll only have 1 mental. And I'll have another physical Tem, which can deal with stuff like Kapire and Oshiara decently. And also, I'm not afraid of his lead here. I don't see the plan here. It's possible it's a very... Even if it's a max speed Barnshee trying to use Bamboozle to buy a turn, I will still outspeed and be able to kill, or at least deal some damage. I do have to be careful of how much damage my Aohi takes, because I'll need it to kill Chimerian, kind of Kapire, and it's even great against Tataru. So Aohi is incredibly important, and it might even be worth swapping it out turn 1 just to keep it alive. I'm going to pick these two as my last ones, just because I'm not sure if he's going to pick Oshiara, and I'm sure this is a Bird Season Grandpa, which actually deals 2x damage to Voloren because of its trait. Yo, Noah, thank you for the Prime sub. How's it going? I'm surprised he still picked Oshiara a little bit. But I guess he just wanted something that can deal with Aohi, which makes sense. So there's the Straw Shield, so it's not on Chimerian. So I can one-shot Chimerian with a Fiery Soul from my Aohi. At least I'd expect to be able to. So... I think this is a good opportunity to bring in my Lawali. Because I want to keep Aohi healthy. Now we see his Oshiara come in. So this is really good. Only times... Oh, the club name? Yes, it is a funny little club name they got there. Actually, I don't think that shows... Where are you seeing that? Extra Energy Slam onto my Oshiara. So that is a very high damage Tataru. Not really what I was expecting. I'm going to go Serbatios and Allergic Spread here. Because I can take any hit from his Oshiara, and I'm predicting a swap. So right now I'm trying to potentially kill the Tataru before it moves, which I think is probably asking a lot. Yeah, it's a Resistance Badge Tataru, so it's highly damage invested and doesn't have the health item. So there's a good chance I'll be able to kill it here. And I'd be surprised if it has enough speed investment to outspeed my Lawali. Also, Allergic Spread on Lawali will always do more than Hurricane in a 1x situation because of the trait Botanist, which increases the damage. And because of how Power Bank works, Serbatios should do really good damage to anything that swaps in. He's only got one swap in, being Chimerian, to this board, which he could easily swap in, and I would do like nothing against it. But Oshiara would be very low or dead. So he saves the Chimerian, or saves the Oshiara, and is trying to kill me with the Tataru. We'll see if it works out for him. Oh, it looks like it's gonna live. I'd be surprised if I can kill a 30% Tataru. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oshiara's dead now. But on the bright side, I can now bring in Aohi on the Chimerian board, which is exactly what I wanted. Orange support is fun. I'm going to use Hurricane now, which will finish off the Tataru, and if he swaps in Kapire to eat the Fiery Soul, it will do chip damage to it. 40 minutes, 350k armor, and 10k HP. I thought games were supposed to be fast now, like it's an early game meta sort of thing. Whoa, he kept the Chimerian in. That is not what I was expecting at all. I'm actually really surprised by that. So I guess he just didn't think he needed the Chimerian beyond killing Oshiara. I do still have Volfi in the back to deal with Oshiara, just in case my Lawali were to die. So I am surprised by that. His neutral synergy is also gone for Kapire. He could have Fiery Ballad synergy with Barnshi I'll have to watch out for, but I'm at least good this turn. If he brings in Kapire... I'm actually kind of curious what he'll do here. I don't know how much my Plague's going to do to his Oshiara. I did get that little bit of chip on it. So I'm thinking that if I were to Plague plus Fiery Soul onto the Oshiara, that it would die. I would Fiery Soul just to confirm the kill. But if he brings in like Kapire Oshiara and then swaps the Oshiara for Barnshi, that would be problematic. He brings in Kapire Barnshi though, which is like Aohi's best board. I still don't know how fast this Kapire is. Because what I really want to do is use Resin Trap. But I have a feeling this Kapire is going to be faster than me and kill me before I can get that off. I could use Hypnosis, but once again, I don't know if I'm faster. See, it is a max speed Kapire, so that was the wrong play, which is really unfortunate. Most Kapires don't invest that much speed right out of the bat, but it wasn't Ignite protection. I always find it strange when there's really slow Tems like Tataru and some Chimerian spreads, and then really fast ones like Kapire Oshiara on the same team. Normally you don't want to do that. Alright, so right now the big issue is killing Barnshi. He's going to probably want to... Beta Burst my Volfi so that he can try and like Flaming Meteorite plus Gamma Bursts my Volfi this turn. Tornado works too. Basically he wants to kill my Volfi before I can get a Dust Vortex off on the Kapire. Okay, so I can actually Phantom Whiplash the Barnshi here, and it should die. It just used its priority move. And then that means I'll be able to Dust Vortex the Kapire. Worst case scenario is he swaps the Kapire for Oshiara. It's a very realistic option. But Barnshi would still die in that case, and I'd still be doing chip damage to Oshiara. Once Barnshi's gone, then Mooflank has more use, and Aohi can beat Kapire in an endgame situation because Kapire only has fire moves. The Oshiara probably has high pressure water, which it could use on Aohi to deal damage before I can move. So basically, he either has to sack health on Oshiara right now and Kapire. Goes for the Fiery Ballad. No, he has Phantom Whiplash too. Okay, this I don't know if I live. No! That's not good. I forgot Barnshi gets that move. And I also didn't know if he would be faster or not. So this is really bad now. Because my Aoi has to take a Serbaceous, and it can, but the thing is this, it will die to a Serbaceous plus a high pressure water. And at that point the game is pretty much over. So I think my only play is to use Hypnosis on the Oshiara right now. And even then, I think it's still over. I need Mooflank to live this, but it's very squishy, so I don't know if it will. It does, but Aoi's low enough that it's not in a good spot. Yeah, that's game. He played very well. I just was not aware of his spreads. If I knew he had fast enough Kapire, or if he was running Phantom Whiplash on Barnshee, I probably would have played differently. And now he's going to reveal he's got high pressure water and is going to kill my Aoi before I can even move. Ah, darn. The Phantom Whiplash on Barnshee is what ruined everything. He might not have high pressure water. So the reason why I was so confused here is because Tataru does nothing at all on this team. It's slow, it doesn't match the tempo of the team. It's not a good pivot because it doesn't have any resists. The only thing it could be there for is for a partner for Kapire, but Mooflank is so much better in that situation. But this was just a case of I got outsped. So the problem with this sort of team is that because you're investing so much in offenses and speed, that if you get outsped, then your opponents are able to really punish you because your speed is useless because theirs is faster. You could choose to invest more in speed, because I am a little conservative on it. I don't go max speed on most of these spreads. I opted for more HP, because if you have more HP, you can live a lot. But that gets really risky, because if you face a slow team that you can't one-shot, then you're probably going to lose, because they will always survive and they will always be able to kill you. Like, if my Lawali was able to get one Plague off on the Oshiara, I probably would have one-shot it. At least after the little bit of chip from Tsunami. So that makes sense why he swapped now, because it really was a squishy Oshiara, and I never know if it's going to be that slow or that squishy or not. Especially when you have burn support with things like Aoi, Kapire, and high pressure water. So sometimes it's just trying to take your best chance, and just making the best plays you can with the knowledge you have. Because when Temtem's, since it's a no RNG game, the biggest things you don't know is what your opponent is running as far as like moveset and spreads. And like both games today have kind of been a good example of that. This team that I'm running is very consistent. You can have a chance to win just about any matchup, but you need to guess right on your opponent's spreads. I was not expecting a fully squishy Kapire. I probably should have focused down the Kapire with Mooflank and Aoi earlier, rather than trying to play around killing Barnshee first. Because if I killed Kapire before I lost Volfi and Lawali, I would have won the game, because his Barnshee was squishy enough and his Oshiara was slow enough. Hello, Demanic and Commander. Trying to find a team you like and that works. It's rough. Yeah. I've still been running like this team in my own time and it's been a lot of fun. I just streamed last night and I enjoyed it. I wonder how well Barnshi even takes a Thunderstrike from Volgon, even with Straw Shield. I feel like that Barnshi would still lose 80% of its health. So that makes sense why he banned the Barnshi. And there's also a good chance that it was actually a max speed slingshot Chimerian. Which is like I was saying, I didn't know if it would be or not. So that would have also been really bad for me. Yeah, like Tataru, Grandpa, sometimes Chimerian, and sort of Volphy are a lot slower pace in that team. I know I have Volphy on this team, even though it's aggro as well. So it does work on faster teams. But max speed Volphy is slower than like most of this entire team. And none of the rest of the team is max speed. So Volphy is just very slow, and that's kind of the trade-off for it having a great offensive type. Alright, this is an interesting looking team. It looks like there's a Schween and a Tataru for probably rage shenanigans. I only have one Earth on this team. And no crystals, so probably going to ban Volgon here, because Electric is not a great matchup. And that's something you could probably remedy if anyone was to make your own variation of the team. Is you could swap something for like a crystal. Like you could definitely swap Chimerian for Lawali. That would totally work. I like Lawali. It's really good in like a lot of situations. Like it's pretty much good against his entire team here. Good against Turok, good against Schween, good against Oshiara. Decent against... Oh, he's going for freeze here. So this is a Snowstorm Momo with a Oshiara. And he's going to freeze, but he doesn't know that I have bait. So I'm going to pick Mouflank here so that I can try and outspeed and kill the Oshiara with Plague and Goring before it actually kills me. He bans my Volgon, which is interesting. I still have Aohi, so I'm not afraid of Tuvine or Tataru. I have Oshiara, so I'm not afraid of Turok either. So I think I'm going to ban the Adoraboros. Because it walls Oshiara, it takes good special hits, so Aohi would struggle with it. And I want both of those two for sure. The only thing that would be really good against it is Volorend, which gets walled by Tuvine and Turok. Taking another stab at a Kapire team, inspiration from that last game you just played. I've always wanted to find a good Kapire team that works with Valiar, because Valiar is a team that can create space really well, so you could get free heat-ups off with Kapire, but I've never found a good one that works. It can also work with like Volash. Volash can madness buff sort of thing. I'm gonna go Hazrat here, because like I said, Volorend isn't that great. If I picked Volorend, he probably would have picked Tuvine over Schween. And Hazrat will always get value, even if it dies, just because of its trait. And it's also able to burn things with Ember, like the slower Tataru and potentially Momo, depending on how fast it is. So here's the Snowstorm. So that means turn 1, he's going to swap into Turok for the synergy on the Tsunami. I do have bait, so even if he were to get it off, it wouldn't work. This is a kind of a cheesy lead. One that plays on your opponent not having enough damage to kill you or speed. So it doesn't work very well. I wouldn't recommend it. I must have clicked the wrong move on move flank. I meant to click Goring, and I bet I clicked Bestial Charge out of habit, because normally that's the move I always click. Because there's no reason I should have gotten outsped there. Oopsie. Allergic Spread is really good here. They can't even touch the Lawali. And I'll just stay in to get holds off on Held Anger. So normally I shouldn't have even taken any damage there, and I should have just killed the Oshiara by using Goring. That was just a misplay on my part. He can't swap in Shween. Probably swap in Tataru or Momo. He does swap in Momo, because Momo has really bad no holds. So you need hold moves on it. Now the question is, how fast is this Momo? It seems kind of bulky based on how much damage it took there. Probably be safest just to use Goring on move flank instead of Held Anger. And I probably should have swapped for Oshiara there to eat the Cerbatios, but that's fine. Yo, Aos, good to see you. Trying to make Pocus work, just needs the right team. I feel like the only thing Pocus can do is use slowdown effectively. It's really the big thing. Oh, Tataru. That's not what I would have expected. That makes it really tempting to use Held Anger. I'm going to swap in Aohi here, because this is like the perfect Aohi board. And I'm going to use Goring on the Momo. Just because I wasn't able to test its speed. I'd be surprised if the Momo is base speed. I feel like something's wrong. Did I not click Goring there? There's no possible way for a Momo to outspeed my move flank. It's a 232 speed move flank. I didn't have any speed changes. I clicked base jump? Really? Man, that twice in a row is really bad for me. I don't normally do that. So I ran move flank for a long time too, so that's disappointing. Alright, so I'm gonna use Psywave on the Tataru. High pressure water here will help my Oshiara potentially survive, but I think there's going to be a knockback and a major slash coming in. I really wish I got either of those Gorings off. That would have like completely changed the game. But I do just need to break through these two, and then Lawali can come in and destroy Turok and Shween. I think I'm actually going to double into the Tataru here, on second thought. Click base jump? Okay, that's disappointing. At least it's not a bug. Oh, nice swap in on the Shween to prevent the burn. And the special defense drop. That is a lot of damage to be taking on Tataru, though. So now it's in range to die to a Phantom Whiplash for sure. Momo can't come in. Shween's already on the board. So something in the right slot will die this turn. Even if I have to take a Water Cannon on Aohi, it's very specially bulky. So I'm not worried about it. I don't know how fast the Shween is, though. Chances are it's faster than me based on the rest of his team. He brings in the Turok, which means that Hazorat's super valuable now. Seems like a pretty bulky Turok. It should still die to Serbatios, though. And now I got Ignis, so Shween can't do anything. Oh, he tried to court shield anyways. Unfortunate. Easy Psywave here. I will Tsunami just in case a swap or some chip damage. Oh, it just... Oh wait, no, first aid kit. Yeah, it's a good thing I doubled in. Shween is faster than my Aohi, but it cannot kill with one more hit. So he'll have to double in on the Aohi next turn. If this is a max speed Momo, it can actually outspeed my Oshiara spread. Which wouldn't be great, but it also doesn't really matter at this point. So I'm just going to leave it in. I'm just dealing some chip damage to Shween with the Fiery Soul. If I survive this turn, I'll Phantom Whiplash the Momo next turn. It's not Stab Master, so it doesn't kill, but if it was, it would have killed my Oshiara for sure. Alright, so now Phantom Whiplash on the Momo, and then we'll just go Blizzard to finish off the Shween. I do have Adrenaline shots, so and I'm killing something this turn. So if I needed to, I could attack again next turn. That's kind of why I run that item. GG. Even with my misplays, misclicks, it still worked out. So that's why I never really recommend like cheesy teams like that. Because if your opponent knows what's coming, it's very easy to play around. And I knew exactly about that. About the Oshiara strategy. And he had a few of them in there. It looks like he just sent me a rematch. If I wasn't... I want to get a variety of matches in to show you guys kind of like different ways to play against the team. Otherwise I would accept it. I don't think that another round would really affect that match at all. He'd probably end up banning like Lawali, and then I just bring Volfi instead and do the same thing. That's really the only difference that would happen. Volfi, Lawali, same difference. I'd actually pay attention and click Goring. The Oshiara Momo strategy just isn't all that consistent. That's why I like the Momo or Saipat variation, because Saipat's so much easier to pull off. Clean Aohi sweep is Fake Beer's Sweatband already taken, so Aohi has to use Adrenaline shot. So Sweatband is on... Yeah, Sweatband's on Volarend and Fake Beard's on Volgan. So it does have to use Adrenaline shot, but it's also my preferred option as well. Just because a lot like it runs Psywave, and because Psywave is so cheap stamina wise, you're able to kind of weave that in and not... Because if you use Psywave turn 2, you're wasting Fake Beard, because you don't even need Fake Beard. You're saving like 6 stamina. It's nothing. And if you're using Sweatband, I guess it's fine. Sweatband is probably the optimal option, but that's also like the best stamina efficient item that you're probably running. Hey, Gnomedolf, good to see you. Fastshocks your homie, they'll use another team if you rematch. If he's still around after this team, could do it. Alright, so this is a Pocus team. We got 4 mentals. He's pretending digitals don't exist. Probably an electric stone exists. Double electric custodian. Looks like this entire team kind of hinges on slowdown Pocus and buying time with Lowaddle. Loving the new vids. Yeah, I mean, they'll probably be cut down after this month. For anyone who doesn't know, max speed Pocus reaches like 303, 304, something like that, and it has a move that'll put you to sleep. So if you can't outspeed or kill the Pocus turn 1, it's just awful to deal with. So I want to pick Oshiara to... well, it could be a Water Custodian. Basically, what I want to do is I want to threaten out the Lowaddle. My safest pick here is going to be Lawali. I could pick Volfi too. It depends on if this Alhi is running Helicopter Kick or Uppercut. Most of them run Helicopter Kick just because it's more damage turn 1 and it combos well with Bruiser. But some of them run Uppercut specifically for the Volfi matchup, so I'm just not confident in that. That's an interesting pick. It must be the Theodora then. Which makes enough sense. You got Electro Punch on Ragnet, you have... yeah. This is still fine for me though. So Electro Punch Ragnet to go high prio, and then Stone Ball on Zyzare is also commonly used with this strat. I now just ban Alhi, and then my Tems like Volerend and... yeah, I was gonna say Hazrat would pop off. Volerend's still really good though. Deals with basically everything after Ragnet's gone. This Ragnet better have camo, otherwise I'm gonna trap it turn 1 with Volfi and finish it off turn 2. Because he has nothing that really threatens out Volfi. He'd have to use Beta Burst. No, that wouldn't even do it. He'd have to be Water Custodian, Beta Burst, Turbine, Beta Burst. And even that, I might live. Just because I do opt for a bulkier Volfi. So because he's got multiple mentals, I'm not going to run Mooflank, even though Oshiara isn't great here. If he picks Noxolotl, that means that my Volerend is just going to ruin it. So basically the only thing stopping me from winning this game is Ragnet. We'll see if he is smart and swaps it out to save it because of that. He has Diabolo. So I'm going to Plague the Nagais, and I'm going to Plague the Ragnet. See, I'm totally fine sacking my Lawali in order to kill this Ragnet. So what I'm doing now is I'm trapping the Ragnet with handcuffs. And then, so it can't swap next turn, and I'll be able to get the Dust Vortex on it, and there's nothing he can do. I guess he could put me to sleep, which would be bad. Guess that would be really bad. So in order to prevent that, I'm going to have to sack Lawali. And I actually have to swap Volfi for Auhi here. Auhi will eat the Hypnosis and won't fall asleep because it's a mental. Lawali will die. Never mind. Was it not the Theodora? Did I just miss the trait? I might have just missed the trait. Could have swore it was Decidora. Okay, so he brought in Lowaddle, so he'll have synergy on Electro Punch still. So that means something has to die. Volerend's too valuable. Oshiara really does nothing, so I'm going to sack Oshiara. He went for Paizo, even though he had synergy. I'm using Sandstorm here, so I will also be able to block his... I'll apply Isolate, which would prevent him from using synergy this turn if he survives, which unfortunately he does. So I probably should have used Dust Vortex, but getting the extra chip damage is nice, so I'm not really opposed to that. I guess a Refreshing Diabolo, which actually makes my chip useless. I'm going to use Psywave on the Lowaddle. It doesn't really matter what Ragnet does now. It's at a point where it's low enough it'll just die. Probably going to be a sacrifice here. From the Lowaddle. Maybe not. Might be using Faraday Cage or something. This is interesting. Normally a Lowaddle would be trying to deal damage. Or trying to support, not deal damage. It's really a support Tem, not a damage dealer. Did I calc my stamina wrong? Why? Was I exhausted or marbles or something? Oh no, I swapped out. That's right, that's right. I am definitely afraid of a potential sacrifice, but I don't think I'll outspeed even if it does use it. I'm not afraid of what Nox Lowaddle's gonna do, and I don't need Phantom Whiplash, so I'm just gonna try and burn this Lowaddle down. This is gonna be close. I don't think I kill. That sucks. Hopefully he's targeting Volphy. No, a Data Corruption. That's fun. I don't think it's really needed, though. Toxic Ink has, like, anti-synergy with Data Corruption. So that's a little bit weird. Volphy's as good as dead. I'm just going to leave it to die. I don't want to lose any health on Volarend. Still afraid of like a penance or a sacrifice or something, so I'm going to use Fiery Soul here rather than Psywave for stamina. He can't swap, so I'll be able to get Ignis up and I won't take any damage on Auhi. This would be a good turn for him to Madness buff, but like no matter what this Nox does, it's still going to lose in the endgame against Volarend. So a funny thing in here is because my Volphy died to a status, Auhi actually gets Ignis for the next turn. It's a really specific interaction, but it does happen on occasion. Now Ragnet already used Paizo, and it doesn't have any synergy for Electro Punch. So I'm free to just use Psywave here to finish it off. Lots of damage on the Nox. He used Hypno, so that will buy him a turn. Hey Fishy, good to see you. How you been? You finish. Make some progress on your fishing. I'll click V-Gust here just in case the Kinu decides to attack. I'm going to use Fiery Soul just to kind of burn the thing just in case it were to attack. Roberlone, hello, welcome. Howdy, howdy. Looks like it's your first time. Are you a Temtem fan, or what brings you here? Codebase caught fire. Sick of coding right now. I'm sorry to hear that. But you know, I understand. I hope it gets better for you. What are you up to now, then? Finding a game to play in the meantime or something? Yeah, this end game is what I was trying to create the entire time. Noxolotl can't hit Volerend, and Kinu also is weak to Volerend, and is also weak to Auhi. I think this guy could have played a little bit better and made me lose. But luckily I was able to pull through with a win. GG. Hey, I like you. Good to see you. Alrighty, let's keep going. I could do a radar in between. My Qs have been fast. And oh, right. This guy wanted to rematch. We'll see if he sends again. I could send too. Alright, we'll let him have blue side then. Good luck, have fun. See what kind of team he brings this time. Trying to make a far less code-intensive game now, mainly just 3D modeling and art stuff. That's cool. You're thinking like something like Journey, or maybe even like a... even less like that? Oh, okay, so this is like a slower-paced, stallier type team. Stuff like Garunder, Tyrannak, Tuvine, it looks like. Journey's your closest comparison? Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's like a great description of what the game kind of is. It's not too code intensive, and it's basically just like a work of art more than a game itself. More urban and less professional. So based on the Hazrat ban, I'm thinking he wants to have Tyrannak be his carry. It could be either of these as well because of he banned a fire type. So Volerend's actually really good here, especially if I take out the Garunder. Because it walls Platamus. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take out the Garunder. It walls Platamus, Volphy, and Tyrannak. So we see the Gazuma here. I definitely want Volerend this matchup. But I'm going to have to swap it out turn 1. Question is, what do I bring with it? Because I can't bring Oshiara, because Tyrannak, if you pick Tyrannak, Oshiara would have no turn 1, because Hurry Wart would not activate. So that means it's between Lawali and Mouflank. If I go Mouflank, he picks Gallios, and if I go Lawali, Lawali's safer, but he'd probably go Platamus for the Rotten Goo with synergy. I think I'm going to pick Volerend, or Mouflank, and then I'm going to swap Volerend for Volphy, turn 1. Because Volphy can eat the Tesla Prison really well. And then I'd also have Handcuffs to push off the Doom on Gallios. Interesting. I really wasn't expecting a Gialis play here. I wonder if he's going to ban Auhi now, and then try and play with double Crystal Carry. I'm not too afraid of Tuvine, to be honest. I think at this point the bigger issue is Volphy. Because Volphy walls Oshiara. Volgon can at least hit like Platamus and Gallios, and Hypoxia can be used on Tyrannak, and a Thunder Strike does a whole bunch of damage to Tuvine. But these are the kind of teams that can really punish a fast aggro team, because they're usually slower and bulkier. So they can eat a double in of like hits and then still hit you back with like 2 1x attacks that would kill you. So these are the kind of things you have to watch out for. I'm definitely going to pick up or why do I just keep saying Volarant? I'm going to pick up Auhi. Auhi's great against these two, and it's got Hypnosis to control some of the slower Tems like Tyrannak. And I also want Volgon, because Volgon is able to wall Gazuma. So right now, the biggest thing I need to do is get rid of Gialis. Once Gialis is down, then that frees up Volgon a whole bunch. I think I'm just going to go with Oshiara here. As long as I bring it in on not a Tyrannak board, it'll get a ton of value. Because he didn't pick Platamus, so he has nothing to resist it. And the only thing that can hit it real well is Gazuma, which is on lead here. He does have marbles on the Gazuma, which is a pain, because it's chip damage that I can't avoid. Now that I'm looking at it, Volgon's actually not great on any board other than Gazuma, so I think I'm going to swap it in right now. Just to help me with this lead. Because Gialis doesn't do much. Tuvain, it does a lot, but it dies immediately afterwards. Gallios is okay, could die immediately as well, and Tyrannak, it resists its main damage attack. And I just need something to swap Volarant for, because I didn't really think about that immediately, of what I could swap into this lead. Gialis doesn't have a good turn 1 option, but it can still do damage. Especially if it uses like Glass Blade here, it's able to, yeah, deal that much damage. It's not a base speed Gialis, so he does have some speed invest, so I gotta watch out for that. I'm just sacrificing Volgon here. I really don't need it. I'm going to use base jump on the Gazuma, because I want to focus the Gazuma down now. Because like I said, I'm really weak to electric. And so once I'm able to get rid of the Gazuma, it'll free up some more space. Electric Storm is just fine. I don't mind that at all. Awesome. Gazuma's in range to die to a Goring now. And I can bring in Auhi to threaten out the Gialis as well. I don't know if I'll be able to kill it from this range. It does have some speed invest, so it might be squishier than I thought. But yeah, so even if he swaps Gazuma, it's in range that it's low enough it can die to just about anything. It can die to Oshiara, it can die to Volarant, and it allows speed both. Alright, Gazuma goes down. Auhi gets Ignis, so if he attacks Auhi here, that's fine. If he doesn't, he does. Awesome. That's why we love Auhi. Oh, I didn't notice the Ice Cube on the Gialis. That's why it survived. Normally Gialis doesn't run that item because it doesn't give a whole lot of value. But sometimes it's like its best option. Kind of depends. So I think I'm going to swap out move flank here, because Gialios is the one thing it doesn't want to face. And it's also a decent time to bring in Oshiara. His best play would be to use Sharp Stabs and Beta Burst on this slot to make my Oshiara like one hit from dead. But I'd still get a Serbatios off, because after Gialis is gone, he's got nothing with priority to be able to kill me. Also, I don't know what trait the Tyrannak is. It's almost always Intimidator, but technically it could be Frightening. Which would mean that my traits would still work. But regardless, my Oshiara now has 2 holds off, so it'll be able to click Serbatios. Ooh, more Auhi value. I'm surprised he stayed in on the Gialis if that was his play. Normally you'd swap out so that your Tem doesn't die and you're able to then hit. So I'm actually gonna Fiery Soul of the Tuvine here. I do have Adrenaline Shot, so this is fine, and we'll use Serbatios. I think this might be like, I think Tuvine might go down. Tyrannak being brought in here is fine. I really don't mind too much. Because it's going to take damage here, and like I said, I think Tuvine's dead, just because Oshiara is a huge, like, damage powerhouse. Oh, two health. That'll hurt. Tugma Mask Tyrannak. Interesting. So he has to bring Gallios back in, and it will reset his Doom timer. But I mean, I'm going to kill Tuvine this turn, so it doesn't matter too much. So I'm just going to bring Volerend in. Tsunami for some more chip damage. Next turn I will use V-Gust and High Pressure Water. V-Gust will kill the Tyrannak, it'll be synergy, I'll deal some extra chip to Gallios, and then I will finish it off with the High Pressure Water. Actually, the Oshiara is probably faster, but yeah. I won't die to a Sharp Leaf here. Ooh, lots of damage to Tyrannak. Getting the +2 on Oshiara is just makes it so threatening to anything that can't outspeed. Plague, interesting. You don't see that often. Normally, if you're going to run a damage nature option, you're going to want to run Slingshot Sharp Leaf, because Tyrannak has much, much, much higher attack than it does special attack. Ooh, interesting. His trait doesn't even work, so technically, if I just let this Gallios be on the board for 2 turns, it would die to its own trait, which is kind of funny. Devilios, hello, welcome. It's been a while since you played. Is Minotaur still usable? Absolutely. I wouldn't say it's like the best time in the game, but both traits are viable now. They actually made Ruminant into a good trait, but Rusher is still viable. So it's, yeah, definitely a good Tem. Alright, and Gallios is down. GG. If you're curious about what kind of spreads all the Tems are running nowadays, I did recently upload a series of videos on my YouTube that goes through every Tem as well as a couple different spreads for, well, one spread and then some other swappable suggestions just in case. Yeah, GG's there, Fash. I think the biggest thing is just to learn kind of like your team's strengths and weaknesses. I think a lot of these games are kind of like pick ban issues. Knowing what your team is weak to and how to pick against it is good, and knowing what your opponent's carry is, analyzing that at the start of the battle is really important. Because, so Gazuma was really important because of how much value it gave you, because it was strong against electric. My whole team was weak against electric, and also the speed control would have let you outspeed me, potentially, and you kind of just left it in to die the first couple turns. Oh, now I'm up against you, Gnome Delph. Alright, good luck, have fun. Alright, so I see an awful song combo sort of thing. This probably isn't an Iridescence Koish. It's probably Synergy Master just to maximize that damage. We've got a couple Toxics. I think I'm going to knock out Gazuma, because I don't have a Crystal on this team. Yeah, Scaravol would die to Volphy after a Plague Trap into a Dust Vortex. If he bans Volphy, I have Oshiara, which can still kind of deal with it, even if it's a 1-for-1 trade. And also, like, move flank. Volerend's also a good ban just because it's good against so many of these Tems. It's basically like how much work is that Scaravol going to have to do. I think his best play is to ban Volfi and pick Scaravolt and Idrisil. I'm going to pick Hazrat because banning Gazuma opened that up a little bit. Where there's nothing that immediately threatens Hazrat, and turn 1 I'm probably just going to heat up. A crystal mess? True, true. Sometimes I feel like I underappreciate like how interesting the crystal type is. I mean, realistically, most crystal types are just a normal like animal or creature that's just like crystal in design or has crystals on it. But some of them are really cool. Like Gialis is pretty interesting. Anatan is even cool. Chimerian, I feel like, is a little bit on the weaker end of things. Oh, interesting. So it's actually a late Torment setup here. So I don't actually know which slot he's going to target turn 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Tsunami and I'm going to Embers the Koish. I don't know if it's Iridescence or not. At first I didn't think it was, but now I kind of think it is. Definitely banning Scaravolt now. Electrics are... The team is just too bad against Electrics. Volrun's still really valuable. I'm surprised he didn't ban it. Volgan is also crazy good. And I'm going to pick Mooflank as the last slot, just as a backup for something to deal with Anatan, just in case things get out of hand. Because Anatan's really good at beating neutral matchups. And this looks like a situation where I might not be able to kill it turn 1. I get some Marbles Chip. Anatan, Nutrition Bar. That's a good item. Alright, so I'm going to Embers the Koish, and I'm going to just Tsunami for some damage. So I don't know which slot he's going to attack with the late Torment. I have no way to kill Koish turn 1, so what I need to do is I just need to buy time. Figure out which one he wants to focus down. I can resist the Chains hit on both of my Tems. Oh, it's Protective Crystal. Interesting. Okay, I was actually right. It's not Iridescence. He's trying to target down the Hazrat. Hazrat's good against Babua. Okay. I do live, which is very nice. Now I can waste water now that I know. He could kill me with a Goring. Either way, I Serbatios. Worst case scenario, he brings in Babua, then I just bring in Volrun next turn. I don't know how, like, normally a Koish that's running late Torment wants to be very, like, slow and bulky so they can get that off. So I'd be a little surprised if he's got a lot of speed, but speed is speed. So Babua does have Slime, but Slime is also low prio, so I can't imagine he would actually get Slime off before anything matters. Alright, well, Oshiara got the +2 special attack, and it's still full health. I'm bringing in Mooflank here because I needed something that can kill the Koish and kind of deal damage to anything. So I'm going to use Bestial here, which will finish off the Koish and deal chip to Babua. I would only deal spread damage if I had synergy with Volrun, and I want to get Oshiara off this field. Babua has Straw Shield, so I wouldn't be able to kill it in one Toxic hit, and also has Mucus. But it's a really good pivot into this turn, because anything Babua wants to do, it's not going to do a lot to Volrun. Koish's prio is down, so unless it's got 232 speed, which would be very surprising, it's going to get outsped and die here. And nothing he swaps in. He doesn't have anything that wants to swap in. So it seems like a very synergy-heavy team. Ooh, cooperation. Very interesting. Kind of a last chance heal, try and survive. It does not work. It at least gets him to do something before he dies, though. And it looks like it is a min speed Babua, because he would have had synergy for Water Cutting Lily, which would have been high prio. So if he had any amount of speed on this Babua, he would have gotten that off before the Koish died, because it is synergy adept too, which would have been bad. But now he's in a really rough position here. Yeah, Chromion coming in makes sense. There's a good chance that Arachnite's coming into this slot. So I'm actually going to use Toxic Plume here. Deal some chips damage to the Chromion, and also turn the Arachnite into a Toxic type so that I can hit it with a Hyperkinetic Strike next turn. I also won't be lowering my special defense from using a wind move, so I'll be able to take whatever this Chromion's got for me, which is great as well. Oh, interesting. He's targeting the move flank. Not what I would have expected. I can kill the Chromion now with move flank, and then I'm able to get a Hyperkinetic Strike off on Arachnite. The Arachnite could live, potentially. It is a pretty bulky Tem. But even if it does, and I die to a T-Strike, it'll be low enough that Oshiara and Volgon can clean up. It does live. We went for Hologram. Interesting. Good play. There's the Thunderstrike. Now is the question of, do I live? I do. I'm going to Wind Burst the Arachnite. He could swap in Anatan here, which is what he does. So that way he gets synergy with microwaves. I did consider that. Oh, I actually outsped. That's kind of funny. If I had targeted the Chromion, I wouldn't have taken any damage here. Oh, he targeted Volorend. That is not what I would have predicted. Well, Oshiara gets to come in and should be able to clean up this game. Synergy Tsunami and a Hyperkinetic Strike. Yeah, because he didn't kill Volar in there, something's going to have to eat Babo. Or Babo's going to have to eat a toxic move now. Which, you know, it really doesn't like to. There's really no way for him to come back from this point. I've gotten all of his Tems in range to where they will die in one hit. Basically, he had to deal enough damage to kill me. But because I have that extra HP investment I was talking about earlier on most of my Tems, I'm able to live hits. And also stuff like the burn on Hazrat, allowing me to live that hit turn 1 is valuable. How much does this do? 4x resist for 12 damage, or 12%, that's okay. Brings Anatan back in. Still have enough for Serbatios. And I have enough stamina for Vigast. Because Sweatband is OP. So Babo actually lives here because of the protective crystal, funny enough. I know it's also mucus and straw shield, but the protective crystal is what gave it that extra 5%, I think. Unfortunately, he can only choose one target to finish off here. Oh, sure, I actually got one shot. Dang. That's nuts. And now... get another V-Gust and a T-Strike and end the game. It was kind of close there at the end, but I was never really afraid because I had the full Volgon in the back. The only way he would have won that is if he was able to force an endgame with Volgon and Anatan, and my Volgon theoretically not having any holds off. Because I do have Sharp Rain on the Volgon. Just in case it gets to a situation like that and it needs to face off against... namely, it's for Earth types, but it is also good for dealing with Anatan specifically. So, GG. Probably play one more, then I'll take a short break while the ads are playing. I do want to get to 10 games, though. 10 games with each team. Tomorrow will be the other team, which is the bulkier one. Should have paid attention to like how many feathers and Pansons I had at the start to see if the pro... Because you get like 20% more rewards for using a pro team. It's really the only thing that matters. Oh, come on, Lightcube. This is not what we like to see. Good luck, have fun. Okay. Lots of things that make Oshiara pretty much useless, even though it's one of my better scaling Tems. Gazum is still pretty annoying. Probably gonna actually take it out here. I have double fire to deal with Broccolum. Was hoping to see yourself win in the next vid. Nah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea behind your team, but it's also like pretty easy to figure out what your plan is from the start. I'm gonna pick Mooflank first. So Mooflank is nice because I have so much stamina investment in it. It's constantly able to dish out damage to stall teams, despite not having any scaling options. And then having Held Anger is just a big damage nuke that usually is able to do a lot of damage, even if the opponents have a few buffs. This also just allows me to see what he's got, because I'm probably going to counter with... Interesting. So I'm going to pick up Lawale here. I don't know which trait this Sernif is. Normally it's Settling, but it could be Callosity, just so it has a way to boost its defense. I still have 2 fires left. By not picking either fire to start, it means that he has to either spend one of his bans on one or just deal with double fire when he's got triple nature, which usually isn't a great thing. I imagine he bans Hazrat right now, because Hazrat's really good against even Calibus and Yggdrasil. It's also got heat up. So, I mean, I'm surprised he's not like insta-banning it, but maybe he's got a different plan. Chances are I'm just leaving Oshiara behind. Literally the only time it's... Oh, interesting. Just leaving Oshiara behind. Oh, maybe I pick Oshiara instead of Volfi. So Volfi doesn't do a whole heck of a lot either, because all the natures resist it, and Volerend as well. So if I don't pick Volfi, what would I need? Alright. I decided to ban Nidrasil because it's the best healer, and also I don't want to deal with a whole bunch of poison ticks. So I definitely want Hazrat. Gonna pick Volgon for sure as well, just because of the upfront damage that the thing deals. But yeah, no, I was just saying, like, your tricks were pretty easy to see through. I wasn't sure which trait the Koish was going to be. I initially thought Synergy Master for the Awful Song shenanigans. But then, because of the late Torment strat, I thought maybe you might switch it around. But after I saw the late Torment, being able to burn and survive turn 1 made it so that I just was able to create enough space. An unsuspecting opponent, though, would definitely be able to... I would definitely suffer. For sure. 7, good to see you. How's it going? Yeah, Cernif makes sense. This one's going to be a tough one. I'm just going to say it ahead of time. I will try my best, but realistically, I could probably lose. So there's a Mom's Lunch, which sucks. It's fine on move flank, but it will cancel out my bait and mean I can get poison ticks taken on my Lawali, which is not what I want. I guess it's basically a question of what are the chances that he actually does swap. So if he swaps for Pig, I want to bring in Volgon. If he swaps for Cernif or Broccolum, I want to bring in Hazrat. If he stays in on Kaurin, I probably want to stay. So it's like, it's not even a coin flip, it's like a it's like a dice roll basically, a D4. But no matter what, this Calibus is definitely going to be toxicating this slot. There's like no downside to it. We both coin flipped. Oh, and he gave me the bait proc with... I may have lost my extra thing, but I don't get poison ticked here, which is the really big and important part. So that puts him in a pretty rough spot here. I don't know if Hurricane base jump kills. Allergic spread plus base jump almost surely kills Kaurin. But getting the extra chip damage on Calibus is also really important. Because Calibus walls Oshiara. Okay, he's swapping here. Gonna transfer his buff responsibilities over to Pig. Oh man, please kill. Oh, good. Yeah, so I mean, this game was kind of more or less decided turn 1. Both him and I knew that. If I had swapped into Hazrat turn 1, and he didn't attack on Kaurin, and he swapped instead, that would have been really bad. But because it did swap, it bought me some much needed time. Brocklum's gonna get a stone wall, and there's nothing I can do about that. I could, like, I'm trying to nuke down this pig, but I literally can't. I do trap it for next turn, so I can get a plague off on it, and I die to the exhaust anyways, but I also get to eat the fainted curse that way, which is super nice. So I'm actually going to swap Mooflank for Oshiara here. Why? Well, actually I can allergic spread to kill the pig. I don't think it's going to be faster than 232. If it is, I'm going to regret my decision. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it ain't much, but I'll take as much chip as I can get on this Broccolum. Ah, he did predict a swap. Now, Oshiara doesn't do a whole lot for me here. So just getting it on the field is kind of nice. And getting Mooflank off so I can bring it back in for Hurry Wart and a little extra stamina is good in its own right. Yo, Zekro, good to see ya. Yeah, Cerny's running Tukma Mask. That makes sense. It's probably its best item nowadays. How's it going? Pretty good. We're up against Lake Cube right now. We had a good play turn 1. But he got a Stonewall off on Broccolum. And so it's going to be tough from here on. Snag code and pass it around for new players. Sure, this is kind of the aggro version. I'm planning on doing a like bulkier version tomorrow. It's not like a perfect team. It's actually got a pretty nasty electric weakness that I didn't realize initially. Whew. I knew it would be bad, but that's rough. I have a feeling that they're going to double revitalize this turn. Because there's really nothing I can do against that. Broccolum has Sweatband, so it's got a lot of staying power. Broccolum also learns, like, I'm sure this thing's moveset is Soul Shout, Revitalize, Bark Shield, and Resin Trap. You know, 12% plus 2 ticks of burn? Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, there's the double revit. Not surprised in the slightest. I am going to heat up. He swapped for Calibus in that slot. I didn't know if he'd swap at all. But I thought I just wanted some damage. Oh, Mom's Lunch. Interesting. I didn't think about that. That makes sense. I'm just a little surprised by the play. I'm gonna Embers. Because I can't kill it with one lava wave, I don't think. I'd be very surprised if I could. I guess I could've! Whoa! I didn't think I could. But I just wanted to reduce its damage, so... Yeah, I really wasn't expecting that. Well, I can get a Blizzard off on Calibus now, and I can just throw another Embers out. This is fine. Calibus can't do anything to me this turn. Once Brocklem's down, Cerneef can't really carry the end game well enough. I don't think. Ooh. Another reason why you run Embers is your last slot on Hazrat. Okay, Lava Wave. Interesting. Let's see, 16 times 5. Dang it, I die by 4 health on the Hazrat. I mean, Oshiara, it's not, like, useful anymore. You're playing off tilt. I mean, the whole game was decided by that turn 1. It was rough. But yeah, GG. And you got the most undeserved win of all time against you, and now you're in... Oh no. I don't think I've even faced off against Andy yet. I know a lot of other people have. And he's like top 3 on ladder right now, right? Oh, GG, yeah. Top 2 now, dang. Alright, I am going to run to the bathroom now while some ads run. BRB. I'm back now. Andy's been cooking. Ranking you now, rank 3. Cooking you mean copying Shirk and Chaotico's team? Really? How do you actually pronounce his name? Or spell his name? Four Y's. Oh, it's just another stall team, isn't it? Oh, this one's Chaotico. This one must be Shirks. Or at least one variation of Shirks. I mean, there's nothing wrong with copying a team. Oh, this guy got another win. He always runs like super weird spreads. If you're not prepared for it, it'll catch you off guard. He ran Untangle Ninjasil against me earlier today. Temtem ranks don't mean anything. Yeah, I in my opinion, they don't either. They haven't in ages. Back when the game was actually pretty popular, it was cool to beat out the rest of the players. Oh, and now we're up against them again. Is this? Shoot. Is the best player currently on ladder? You've been very impressed. Really? I don't think he's a bad player, but I feel like he misses so many. It's because he just doesn't have the same knowledge of the game as the rest of us. He just doesn't play very conventionally. It's not a bad thing. Man, I don't know. Alright, we're going to take out the Volgon, and we're going to lead Volarend and move flank. Missing a lot of obvious stuff against you at the start of the season. He still misses a lot against me. There, he just knows how to play against Stalwall. That could be the case. Interesting. Zenarith. I think this is an anaerobic Volarend because we played against him earlier. I'm going to take out the... Hazrat now. Because I'm going to leave Volarend in on the lead, and it could very well take a lot of damage here. Start of the team, you're playing a team that's more similar to mine. This isn't like my team. This is like, I'm trying to help new players understand the game. Team. Or do you mean my main team? Shoot, I don't know. New players? Yeah, the game's littered with them. Like 90% of the player base, PvP player base now is new players. The team currently using. Oh, didn't realize. That's not a bad thing. Y'all click on my stream without even reading the stream title. Yeah, so Oshiara doesn't help me much here because it's not great against like 3 of his Tems. December Temtem went free on PlayStation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Volgon can hit these two and Volarend. So right now the biggest issue is getting rid of Zenarith, especially if it were to Madness buff. I still don't know if he runs Madness buff. I haven't seen him use it before. Crystal Spikes in the move flank. That's a ton of damage. Must be a max special attack, Zenarith. No holds. No holding back there. Oh, he switched now to an anaerobic Volarend. Very interesting. So he's switching his team around. That sucks. I was actually confident before that I could, like, turn 2, kill his Zenareth with a Hyperkinetic and a Goring. But now I die to a Hyperkinetic from his Volorend. I guess I have to burn my Hyperkinetic on his, hope it kills. I want to say it will, but I don't know for sure, and then I still try and Goring the Zenareth. That sucks. Did seem like a lot of meta tums for my taste. Yeah. I am -4, but due to Volorend's crazy good SPDF, naturally I'm able to live. So now the question is this guy still running Gust on his Volorend? Because if he is, I think I just lose. Trying to spam Global a few times a day about Showdown. That's nice. I'm not sure how many people actually read Global. It's still good to potentially reach those people. Double swapping is real interesting here. A lot of people on Global, gotten a few W tip, thanks. That's cool. See that I feel like he had to kill Volorend there. Because now Volorend gets another Hyperkinetic off. And now Brocklim's also on the field. So I guess he has to I don't know. I don't really see his line here. If he doesn't kill Volorend here, it gets another hit off. Or 2, because I can use V-Gust or Wind Burst without OXing. Yeah, he does go for Volorend here. Makes sense. Darn, I guessed wrong. I mean, I can kill the right slot for free. There's nothing at all that wants to come into it. With Splitter, okay. No synergy is not great. I mean, this endgame would have gone a lot differently had I just brought in Volgon instead of Lawali. On the turn he brought in Mulgu. But the thing is, he has no way to kill my Hazoret, because I'll be faster than his Zenarith. So this turn I Resin Trap and T-Strike the Mulgu, so it either dies or gets in range to die. Unless I die to like a Turbo Attack Rush. Ooh, it did a lot of damage. I guess I do die to a rush here, but it still doesn't matter because I should still be able to kill Zenarith with one lava wave at this health. I OX. I OX from a lava wave. Ah, but he doesn't have rush. That could have been really bad. I still like rush on Mulgu over Cage. I guess he was gambling on surviving this. He does. No, you have to be joking. Why? He just uses knockback now. Or not. No knockback. Okay, I see it. I guess he was just didn't think knockback would kill. I'm pretty sure it would have. GG. Very close game. That's crazy that a lava wave actually does less than half. I guess I'm probably not max attack on the Hazoret. No, I'm only like 360. It's the trade-off. But the bulk worked out because I was able to live his hits. No way he doesn't click knockback if he has it. Maybe he's still running Quartz Shield from earlier then. I know he was running like more of a stall variation with like anaerobic Volarend, and I know he had Quartz Shield on the Zenarith. But I mean, does he have any mentals on the team? He has Volgon, but that's the only thing that would have Deluge synergy. So yeah, if you have Spikes, Deluge, Quartz Shield, what would be your fourth move, if not knockback? I feel like he just didn't know that knockback would kill. Actually, let's just do a calc for fun, because I'm kind of curious now. I had like just over 200 health left. I think it would have been extremely close, but I could be wrong. It may have just nuked me. Okay. I don't have anything invested in defenses. Channeler plus max special attack. Okay, so I actually would have lived a Channeler knockback. So there was no way he could have won. I had just enough health. And that's at max special attack. If he was anything less than max special attack, I would have lived healthily. So he did not troll. He really did as much as he could. It's just, I don't know, if it wasn't max special attack, then his crystal spikes, I still don't think though. Still think he's supposed to try though. I think so too. That's kind of what I mean, just like he's getting better like very fast, and he's learning, but he doesn't know interactions as well as a lot of the older players. He had actually messaged me on one of my YouTube videos because I was apparently like kind of saying, like, listing all of the mistakes he made in a match and saying how I didn't really understand a lot of his decision making. And I guess I was kind of rude, so I kind of feel bad whenever I talk about him now, because it's like I'm trying to help overall. But it's so hard to explain decision making, because the best way to do so is to list, like, okay, you should do this, 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 and this. Here are the possibilities for like the next 3 turns, for like 3 different swap options. And so a new player can easily get overwhelmed by just like all the possibilities. And trying to like internalize how much damage something actually deals is also extremely hard. Like, even I thought the lava wave on the Xenareth would kill. I really didn't think it would survive at all. I know the thing's got over 200 defense at base, plus insane HP stats. Did everyone get offline? I don't know. I'm glad the team's performing pretty well, though. 7-1. And the one loss was against... I think it was against that aggro team that was faster. Yeah, and that's kind of the trade-off with this team. You got a lot of consistent threats. You got a lot of ways to deal with a lot of different things. And you will pull out more consistent wins than a team that's full speed. But you will also lose against somebody who does take that extra risk and loss in consistency. Just out of curiosity, what is his match history look like? Looks like he's won like 6 out of his last 10, so he's got about a 60% win rate, which is still pretty good. Nothing to scoff at for sure. Running any speed control on the Wally, Volfi, Oshiara? I am not. It's just meant to be like a green circle team for the most part. I wanted it to be as like new player friendly as possible. Interesting. So we're facing a monotoxic team right now. So Voldaren gets insta-banned. Oshiara is next to useless. Alright, I'm actually going to ban Acronox, because Hazrat's really good here. Like when you explain your thoughts about decision making, makes the stream very educational. Yeah, I try and have a stream like this every once in a while. It's harder to like have conversations with you guys while I'm like debating on everything. Right, I'm gonna pick Volgun first because it's got Hypoxia. And the Wally is hardly a toxic. I heat up turn 1, there's nothing he can do about it. He left the Lawali around, which is a little interesting. Hazrat's the only thing that could eat a lava wave from my Hazrat, but I can't rely on my entire win on Hazrat. I'm actually going to take out the Adoro here, because that'll free up move flank as kind of a secondary carry, especially to deal with things like Garunder with low defense and Volerend as well. Yeah, also like the educational streams, they kind of like take more out of me because I gotta like be full focused and remember to say my thoughts out loud, which can be hard to remember quite often. Cheese lovers, I do like cheese. I'm also allergic to cheese, but cheese does taste good. Alright, so 4 Tems that resist water, even though if you picked any 2 of these, I probably would have picked Oshiara. But I'm going to go with Volphy instead. Because Volphy has Plague support, and also Dust Vortex can hit at least like Garunder and Cycrox. Alright, I'm going to swap Volgon out, because it's still very useful. I don't want it. And then this is also like my best Volphy swap turn. I guess I should have checked. It's not Schween's Horn Garunder. Sometimes people will run that. Brimation Garunder? Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So I know that the Tord Knight can't do a whole heck of a lot here. I'm actually going to double into the Garunder slot. Oh, I'm going to use Sandstorm. But Sandstorm and Lava Wave. I could use Embers to reduce the Piezo damage. I don't know what trait Volorend this is, so I'm going to swap it out after this. Or swap out Hazrat after this. Dang, that did nothing. Still good damage on Volar and Shelter. That seems real risky, bud. This is about one of the only times that Lawale is going to be useful, just to eat a hit. Oh, a wind hit, specifically from Volarend. And then potentially, if this Garunder survives, it can finish it off with a... Okay. Nidrasil? Cycrox. Cycrox is fine here. Hyperkinetic, does nothing. It was aerobic, so it's definitely a good thing I swapped. Woo, real bulky Cycrox. Super duper bulky. We're just gonna get some chip damage on everything here. It's a good board for Volgon. As soon as something dies, I'll bring Volgon in to clean up. Garunder's low enough, doesn't matter. Tort Knight's dead to whatever Hazrat does. Oh, that's really good damage on Volarend. Toxic Slime? No, that's not the play. You use Toxic Gas. Well, I guess you can't use Toxic Gas. I guess I'll just rest on Volphy. And we Plague the Cycrox on the off chance it goes off. Because if I can get... Yeah, so I wanted the Cycrox in range to die to Dust Vortex from Volphy next turn. So that when I bring in Volgon now... Yeah, this is like a full bulk Cycrox with like no offenses. I just had to lower the Cycrox into range to die to Dust Vortex, basically. I forget how much Sandstorm did. I don't think I can click that comfortably. As much as I'd like to in order to cover for the Tort Knight swap. I guess I could use Hypoxia. I think there's a pretty low chance that the Volarend would survive a Hypoxia. Kapire Enjoyer this patch. I mean, I like a good Kapire. I feel like rip. That super sucks for this guy. I like Kapire. I haven't found a good team to run it on in like ever. Oh, whoa. Does this guy have like 0 offense investment on his entire team? Alright, now we bring in Hazrat. That's so weird. I know I don't have a whole lot of attack investment in the Wolfie, but he's not dealing any damage here either. Like, my Volgon might not even drop to half from this Crystal Spikes, which would be crazy. 60%? No? Okay. I guess it's just Tortonite's good offenses. Do I survive the poison? No, I do not. Darn. I was hoping I could. I'd get Synergy Lava Wave, finish off the Tortonite, and then Hypoxia to finish off the Ninja, but this works too. This is kind of the board I was playing for all game. His entire team's low. Even if I have to sacrifice Hazrat, like I could just, as soon as Volaran hits the board, I'm probably going to swap to Wolfie just to save Hazrat and finish it off with Mouflink. Cage confined. Why would I care? Okay, and then he sacks the Volaran, which is the only thing he had to potentially kill my Hazrat. Is it confirmed you get more TMR depending on how many times you have alive? I don't think I've heard any progress on that theory. I don't think anyone really knows how the TMR system works. I think that's a pretty old theory. Not even the devs know. That would most of them probably don't. Maybe there's probably one dev on the team that actually has a clue about if that's something that exists. +4 for win, -11 for a loss. Oof. There's the mom's lunch again. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter at this point. Win rate? Yeah, we've had a couple good days lately, yesterday and today. Today's meant to be a team demo, so I'm glad it's going well, but most players shouldn't expect to have like this crazy high of a win rate. It's not that the team is this amazing, perfect team or anything. I just meant to kind of give some ideas of how to pilot it in different situations, and we've had some good games for that. It'd be nice to go up against like one more like super aggro team, see if I can pull out a win or if it's just going to be a loss. But we'll see. Just the Magnetonic stiff. Yeah, you see, when I'm playing my meme teams, I'm really just holding myself back. Give me a real team and I'll show you. No. GG's on that last one. Always love a monotype team. They're just so hard to pull off. And because Toxic is a common enough type, many teams will have multiple counters to it. Especially with like Volaran being the most common Tem in the game right now. Probably. Maybe Wolfie instead. But I think Volaran beats it out. It's just hard to go mono-Toxic of all things. The opponent free lets you kill. They're kind of only win con. And yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of new players kind of learning the ropes. But those are the players making up the large majority of the ladder. So it's good to kind of like teach them and learn. And cool part about Temtem is that if enough people use this team, the player base is small enough to where people will specifically prepare against it. That is something worth noting. Yeah, though nobody's gonna. Everyone always skips past the parts between battles because I don't cut them out. So. But yeah, it's not a cool part. It's a really unfortunate part about the game that happens. Oh, Shalonian. Alright, good luck, have fun. Okay. Gonna learn today, son. Voloran looks pretty good here, right out of the bat. If I could drop Volgon. Actually, Volgon looks very good on this team. Like, too good. Because it's just... So, right now I can just lead Volorend and Auhi. And that leaves him in a really rough spot. He doesn't pick 2-wire here. Then I knock out the 2-wire to prevent him from playing... Because 2-wire is the only thing that like helps his type chart out. So if he brought in 2-wire here, he would be able to, yeah, be able to actually hit the Auhi for 1x damage, which is important. So I'm probably going to swap Auhi out turn 1 because it's so valuable. Now Volgon is the Tem I want to bring the most. I got a couple things about Valash. I think I'm going to leave that. I think I'm going to knock out this Volorend. Every Temtem game ever, Volorend looks good here. That's what I mean. I've been asking for Volorend nerfs for literal years. I remember back on the main Discord when they had a chat where people could request balance changes for the game. Do some of you guys remember that? The balance change chat or whatever? Even back then, I was asking for Volorend nerfs. And people were still disagreeing with me back then. And look where we are now. Okay, so I still get to play Volgon, which is really nice. I'm surprised by the Volfi ban, because you got double melee that can deal with it. And even, it's got pretty low defense, so Moonflank can kind of burst through it. I want to bring my Moonflank, because he's got no mentals. Waited for them to bring the quality of life chat back. Oh, that's right. It wasn't just for PvP. It was just for, like, game requests. Requested changes. Spam adding a filter for Showdown. It was also way back then that I was... Because that would have been in, like... Probably January 2022. Because I remember that's when I was running my Tental and All Direct Farewell Zenith team. And I was requesting back then for Zenith to get knockback. It's pretty cool how many changes I've requested have gotten into the game over time. It's super duper cool. Then that's kind of like part of why I love Crema. It's like a love-hate relationship. They've done a lot of great things with the game. And the only disappointing thing is that they didn't do more great things with the game. Those that disagree are also the ones not even playing the game. I know. That's kind of where it's a little silly, for sure. Two-wire is by far the biggest issue for me in this game. I think I'm going to bring in Moonflank here just because it's not necessarily a need. I don't need to Moonflank for anything. And it's also got solid defense that it can take a couple hits from 2 physical attackers. There's no real special attackers besides potentially Valash. So I should be good to Wind Burst and scale my damage for next turn. Need to buff 2-wire's defensive stats? No, I think 2-wire's in a great spot. It's used on a lot of teams. It's still more or less a trait bot. But like, I've never used 2-wire on a team and felt like, yeah, this Tem sucks. Ever. He did use Feather Gatling, so I wasn't able to swap in Hazrat like I initially considered. Alright, so the Kapire actually outsped the Volarend. So now I know that this is another glass cannon Kapire, so I actually really want to take this thing out. I'm assuming it's going to be Ignite Protection because of that. Nice, we got a swap into Venmet, so that means that the... I was expecting this for the synergy, but it also now makes my Toxic Plume do more damage. Because it wouldn't have done much of anything to 2-wire, but now I get like a free 30% chip on Venmet. Exactly 30%. Funny. Now Hazorat's in pretty good shape. It is a Parrier Venmet. So I'm actually gonna use... Well... I think I'm gonna let the Kapire attack here. I don't think Hyperkinetic kills it at this range. I'm not confident though, maybe it could. I guess I could have brought in Auhi as well. I feel like Auhi's just... It's better to clean up this board, though. I don't know if Volarend lives a double in or not. You know, I think if I use Embers, I do. Never mind. Well, it'll be... No, I don't. I definitely should have used... whatever the move is. I could live a base jump at this health, but I cannot live a Savage. Oh, hook kick? I might be able to live this. Oh, that was so close. Like, within 5 health. It feels pretty clear that the 2-wire is going to come in on this. It's going to be a Ninja Jutsu coming off from Venmet. I'm surprised that there's actually a Parrier Venmet on an aggro team. But it's working in his favor here because I couldn't kill it. I definitely should have used Hyperkinetic on the Kapire, because now the Kapire is going to be a problem for me down the road. At least, like, my carries are 2 fire types, so it's not going to do that much damage. Speedar are used in his favor, huh? What's he using, though? I thought it was going to be Ninja. Whoa. Interesting. I would have been A-okay with leaving Auhi in. And getting my holds off. Strangle Parrier Venmet and an aggro team. Definitely a move. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm not sure if it's the play, but we'll see if it works out. I need my Fiery Soul to kill the 2-wire, and it's going to be close. I don't think it will. Wait, is he going after the Volgon here? He is. Yeah, I'm getting all the predictions wrong here. War Drum was shook. I don't think I can win. Pretty sure like Auhi just after 2 wastewaters just kind of gets ruined. Turbine incoming. It's going to be a Cyber Claw. Alright, nice. We knocked it out. Venmet looked pretty strong. Did seem alright, yeah. I'm gonna use Embers here. So the question is, does a wastewater kill the Kapire from this health? Oh, he stayed in! Is this going to be like a Crystal Bite? Like a max attack Valash Crystal Bite? No, it's a Crystal Spikes. Okay. I did click Lava Wave, right? I know the Psy Wave doesn't do anything for the lava. I was predicting a Mashuk to come in that turn. Nice. That barely killed. That was just as close as my Volarun surviving. I don't know if Phantom Whiplash kills alone, so I'm gonna use the Ember for sure. Kapire is like 3 hits off from killing me. This is kind of why I was waiting for the Kapire endgame. The whole game was kind of hinging on if I was able to kill the 2-wire with that Fiery Soul or not. Oh, nice. It is so dead. Okay. And now I got Ignis, Kapire OXs, and the game is over. Yeah, so that's kind of the downside of running the speedy 2-wire, is you are a complete like offensive threat, and you are able to even provide support for your team, but you're also a little on the squishier end. This is why you hate Auhi. This is why I love Auhi. No, I get it. I don't like being on the wrong end of an Auhi interaction either, but normally if I'm running a slow bulky team, I've got like Gario or Piranhiant, both of which can one-shot it. So it's never too bad. Or even like Minotaur Golzy are pretty good. GG. And you caught me off guard with some of those spreads and plays, but it was real close there. If I didn't kill your 2-wire, you would have had me for sure. Aohi. Sometimes, if there's like an Owlhe and an Aohi, I pronounce it that way, but if it's like, if everyone can see that in chat we're talking about Auhi, then it's gonna be there. So, alright, so that's 10 games with this team. So I'm actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the recording for this section here, and I'll probably still play because we got a bunch of people watching and it's early enough in the day. But yeah, so that's the team. I hope I was able to give kind of some ideas of how you can pilot the team, play it in a whole bunch of different situations. Remember, the team code is up in the top right corner, so you're able to just type that into Showdown and run the team. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to let me know and I can try and answer them. But a lot of things are just going to be like, how well do you know the team? How well do you know what other people's Tems do? And such like that. There's probably room for some substitutions somewhere to maybe reduce the electric weakness a little bit. but in general, I think it's a pretty solid team and a good one to get started with if you like faster, more aggressive teams. So for those of you on YouTube, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.